In this video, I will talk about hijab exactly according to the Quran. I will use the sirat of Prophet to understand the verse also. I will go according to the Quran to understand the hijab, and I will try to find out if the Quran has prescribed a punishment for one who breaks the hijab. So I will show you the verse and I will use the PowerPoint also. This is the PowerPoint. This is hijab I will talk about. This is the hijab that is being observed by Taliban. It is a very good hijab. There is no objection on this hijab. It is the hijab of the pious Muslim woman. If some Muslim woman is observing this hijab, she is very good. There is no question about it. And this is also. This is Persian hijab. This also is very good. This is the traditional hijab from the old times. Now, before I discuss the verse of the Quran, I want to discuss the tradition, Islamic tradition, what was being observed during the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At the time of Prophet Muhammad, the women, slave women don't used to observe the hijab. Their hijab was from the navel to knee. If some slave woman was covering from navel to knee, she used to be considered as observing hijab. There was nothing above knee and there was nothing below the knee. There is nothing above his navel and there was nothing below his knee. So this much. If a slave woman was covering this much, it was enough for her. Now there is no slave woman. Before I go into the Quran, I need to discuss about the slave woman also, because there is no slave woman at present, but there are working women. The hijab of the slave women were less; it was reduced at the time of Prophet Muhammad, and according to the Quran, because they used to work in the home, in the house, and at the outside. So reason for reducing their hijab was that they were working women. Main reason was they were working women. So hijab of working woman is less. Today, nowadays, there is no working woman. There is no slave. Sorry. Nowadays there is no slave, but there are many working women. What will be the hijab of the working woman of today? So the working woman of today should follow the hijab of the slave woman, at least at the time when they are on duty. For example, as a police woman serving in the police department, she is not a slave, but at the time of duty she is a slave of the police department, because she is taking money for his job. So for the duration of her duty, she is a slave during his duty. But when he comes back to his house, he has to observe the hijab like other women. But during his duty, she is a slave woman because she takes the salary. So she can wear the dress of the police department. She need not to observe the hijab. Whatever the dress is prescribed in the police department for women police, she can wear that, provided it covers from her navel to knee. It is a must. For slave woman, covering navel to knee is a must because it is according to the Sharia, or it was being followed at the time of Prophet Muhammad. I show you again some working woman. To clear further, this part is must. Assume that she is a slave woman. Now, for her, this covering this part is a must. It is imposed by Sharia, and covering this part is optional. She can, she may keep it open, and she may cover it with the dress of her choice if she is a slave woman or working woman of today who work in return of money. These are the working women. For them, they are actually observing hijab because from knee to navel is covered. From knee to navel is covered. Her knee to navel is covered. She is wearing a shirt, but she also could open this shirt. Main requirement for working woman is from knee to navel. Now, this much about the slave woman and working woman. Now to discuss other women. This is the verse. In the Quran there are only 2 verses that talk about the hijab of women. This is the first verse, chapter 24, verse 31. And say to believing women that they should lower their gaze. Lower their gaze doesn't mean that a woman cannot look up. She can look at the moon, or she can look at the top of the palm tree to see whether there are any palm or not. Here, lower their gaze means a woman should not look eye to an unknown man, and guard their private parts, and not display their ornaments except what appears therein. This is first order. Second order, then third order is draw their khumuri over their bosom and not display their ornaments. This is third order. And this fourth order is and not strike their feet in order to draw attention to their hidden ornaments. This is fourth order. Now this verse I will discuss in detail, parts by parts. This is first part. And say to the believing women that they should lower their gaze. I have already discussed lower their gaze means they should not look towards the eye of another unknown man. This is act like. This is act. This is not dress like. Her activities should be as such that she should not look towards the eye of other men. She will not make any eye contact. And guard their private parts. This is second order, and guard their private parts. The Arabic is wa hafazna. Hafazna means guard, protect. Wa hafazna, and guard their private parts means furujahunna. Furujahunna means private parts. Furuja means whole, private parts. It exactly means the private part. So they should guard their private parts. This is dress like. She has to guard his private parts with some cloth. So it is dress like. Also, it is act like. Like one may say, guard their private parts means protect their chastity. Yes, this is also act like also behavior, behavioral pattern. She should guard their her chastity. Also, it is dress like. She should wear a dress to protect her private parts. So, this is a girl, woman. She has protected her private parts. وَحَفَظْنَا فُرُوجَهُنَّ. She has guarded her private part. So this order she has followed. Now, with this order there is something more. And guard your private parts, that he has done by wearing a bikini, and not display their ornaments except what appeared there. It's here ornament, jinatahunna. Ornament means ornaments doesn't mean the ornaments of gold only, gold and other precious material only. The here ornaments means the ornaments of her body also. The body of a woman is ornamental, like this thigh is ornamental thigh. This his waist is ornamental, but from knee and below it is not ornamental. From knee and below it is not ornamental, but from above knee up to the navel, her body is ornamental body. So this ornamental body she has to guard with this one. So guard their private parts, she has done it, and not display their ornaments except what appears there. So from navel to knee she also has to cover. So now she has covered from navel to knee. Now next part, and that they should draw their khumuri. Khumuri actually means bodies. Khumuri over their bosom. So she has observed this order also, followed this order also. She has the verse says that they should draw their khumuri. Khumuri means bodies. Actually khumuri, if you see Arabic dictionary, it says khumuri means old dress. Somebody will say it is headscarf, or somebody will say old dress. Actually, this meaning has devised by people. In old Arabic, khumuri means the container in which the Arabs used to keep wine. These are khumuri, pot of wine. Now they were thinking how pot of wine can be put on the breast. So they found out probably this khumuri means headscarf, which the corners of the headscarf should be pulled down to the bosom. That's what they understood at that time, because in those days bodies was not there. They did not know about bodies. You can see they prescribed a dress for the slave woman. They said that slave woman should cover from navel to knee, but they did not talk anything about her breast, because they did not know about the bodies in those days. But for women of the houses who are not slaves, believing women, for them they felt that something should be there. So they devised the idea, they brought out the idea that khumuri means headscarf, which should be pulled, part of it should be pulled onto the bosom. That was their interpretation. But Allah knows everything. He knows the future. So he should put khumuri on the breast or something like khumuri. Something like khumuri. Now we understand Allah meant bodies. Something like khumuri means Allah meant bodies. But in those days people do not know bodies. So they said put your headscarf on your bosom. Now if they say it is a headscarf, here what is that? That they should draw their khumuri over their bosom. Draw their khumuri over their bosom. Then if some woman want to follow the Quran directly, she should, if it is the headscarf, he should open the headscarf from the head and tie it on the breast. According to the Quran, a woman should open the headscarf from the head and tie it on the breast, because Quran says, and they should draw their khumuri. Draw is translated as such. They should draw their khumuri over their bosom. Means headscarf is on the head. Now draw it down onto the bosom and tie it on the bosom. Yes, they could do it. But actually khumuri means the pot of the wine, and today we understand that Allah meant bodies. So she has followed the order. Khumuri means bodies. She has observed this order also, that they should draw their khumuri over their bosom. This is done. And not display their ornaments. Now, ornaments related to, beauty related to this breast. Beauty related to breast. I am not, one can say that these ornaments are ornaments of the gold, silvers, etc. That necklace that are worn on the neck. But this woman is not wearing any jinata or ornaments, so she is perfect. Yes, one can explain in that way, but it can be explained in another way also. This ornaments means beauty of her body, physical ornaments. So ornaments related to his bosom spread on her chest. This is the ornamental. She has an ornamental chest, and onto her arm up to this, from the throat up to the navel and up to the elbow. These are ornamental parts of her body, and it increases the beauty of her bosom. So with this dress khumuri, she should cover this part also up to elbow. Now this woman is correct. She is wearing khumuri, but is not visible. It is permitted. What appears thereof, no problem, because his chest is little up. It is appearing thereof automatically, so there is no problem. Now the ornamental part around his bosom are his arms and the chest. So she has covered. So her hijab is now complete. The point to note, so far the Quran has not talked about the headscarf. Nothing below elbow or nothing below knee. Now these are the people in front of whom there is no hijab. Hijab is not necessary, except their husband and so forth. So in front of the husbands, fathers, sons, all those people, this dress is perfectly okay. She can remain in the house in this dress, if she is a believing woman. Her head is open from elbow. because there is nothing ornamental from elbow to to her hand. This part is not ornamental, bodily ornamental, and she is not wearing any ornament of gold, silver, or anything. She should not wear, must not wear. If she wear the ornaments of gold, silver, etc. in his wrist, then she should cover up to the wrist. But if she is not wearing anything, or even any ring on her fingers, then it need not to be covered. She may cover up to elbow. The ornaments, this jinata, maybe two types. The jinata that one can purchase from the market, or jinata that are already gifted by God with her body, beauty of her body. So there is nothing beautiful in her hand. Nobody from elbow and below there is nothing beautiful. Beauty starts from the arm. Then open up to the knee. Up to the knee there is nothing beautiful. From above knee the beauty starts. So she can wear dress up to the knee. And they should not strike their feet in order to draw attention to their hidden ornaments. Now her body is ornamental, and she should not walk in an obnoxious way so that she is attracted by other men. This is a perfect dress for a woman. There is another verse in the Quran. This is verse 33. What it says, O Prophet, tell thy wives and daughters and the believing women to draw over themselves their jalabi bihinna. Jalabi bihinna. So this jalabi is for daughter of Prophet, wives of Prophet, and believing women. They are not slave women. So the believing women, wives of Prophet and daughters of Prophet, they will wear jalabi. What is jalabi? This is jalabi. Jalabi is the extra dress over the body. Somebody say it should be worn from over the head and body. Put it over your head, put it over your body. If somebody says put the shirt on your body, it means you wear the shirt. It doesn't mean you put the shirt on your head. So Allah is telling, put the jalabi over your body, so it should be worn like this. It should not be pulled onto the head. There is nothing head cover. Head cover is not there in the Quran. So these women should wear a jalabi also while coming out from the home, or if they are inside the home also, if they like. So this is good dress, and if she is wearing this one, she will also have to wear a jalabi over this dress or this dress. This is inside dress and it is outside dress, jalabi. She has to wear jalabi, dress like this, over this dress. She has to wear a dress like this over this dress. Now about the punishment. The Quran orders to say only. Quran does not prescribe any punishment for breaking of the hijab. There are punishment prescribed in the Quran. If somebody has done an adultery, Quran has prescribed 100 lashes. But for breaking of the hijab, Quran has not prescribed any punishment. So punishment cannot be awarded. Quran said, the Quran orders to say only. And say to the believing woman like this. So a Islamic leader can say only, because Quran orders him to say. Quran has not prescribed any punishment, no fine, no detention, nothing. So for breaking of the hijab, a Islamic leader cannot take fine or cannot sanction several lashes, etc. These are strictly forbidden, and something done in the name of God, which God has not done, is a severe sin. Who should say? Now Quran says, and say to the believing woman. Who should say? Everybody should not say. Quran says, O Prophet, tell. So Prophet will say. Now Prophet is being represented at present by Imam or Khalif. So Prophet is not there, so Imam or Khalif will say. And who else will say? The Imam of the local mosque, village mosque. She will say in the mosque, in the lecture sometimes, that the woman should observe the hijab according to the Quran. And who more? The parents, husband, they will say. And sometimes the teachers of the school, they also can say, but no more. And O ye believe, turn ye altogether towards God, that you may attain bliss. How to turn altogether? By saying. I said, Imam or Khalif will say, the Imam of the village mosque will say, father will say, husband will say, the teachers of the school may say. So everybody will say. Thereby they will turn altogether towards God. God has not prescribed any punishment. So punishment cannot be awarded for breaking of the hijab, or one cannot be forced to observe the hijab. You will say, now after saying, it is her business whether she will observe the hijab or not. Quran does not see the verse and say to the believing woman this verse. So there is no punishment it is written after this. So for breaking of the hijab, punishment cannot be awarded. Now see another verse, this verse. O Prophet, tell. So Prophet and in his absent Imam or Khalif will tell only. There is no punishment prescribed after this verse. So one cannot take fine, or there cannot be a detention, or a woman cannot be forced to observe the hijab. This much. Allah Hafiz.